Today I want to talk about the messiness of life, and this message goes out to anyone who's in that season where they're asking God, why me? Why am I going through this? How come so and so is blessed and how come I'm going through all these struggles? And this is a question we ask ourselves a lot in silence, in the depths of our hearts. But we must understand that everyone suffers. Everyone goes through their things, and in today's modern world, no one likes to share their suffering. Everyone only wants to share the good times. And it's sad because we don't see that suffering is necessary. I spoke about this in my last video, but no hero would become a hero if they didn't go through suffering. It is through suffering that we earn our stripes and that we learn our lessons in life. Suffering grows us, hard times grow us, and the good and the bad times come together to create one person, an individuality, and a story worth telling. No story worth telling doesn't have a dark side. So today's message is for that person, and I want to discuss something that one of the pastors at my church was talking about, where they said in nature, usually what rangers will do is they will look for dung on the floor as a sign of life. They will look for broken down trees where the animals like elephants have gone through as a sign of life. And the point of this is, the sign of life is messiness. The sign that life is there is messiness. When you come into this world, it is not a clean situation. There's a lot of crying, there's a lot of screaming from both parties, and it's not a clean, straightforward situation. And often in life, we want our situations to be straightforward and to the point. When we think, okay, I want to get rich, we think, okay, I want this life. But as soon as you pray for that, and God puts you in a situation for what it takes to get there, we get uncomfortable and we say, God, why are we going through this? When we don't understand to have certain things in life, we need to go through character development, and character development is painful. Any situation, if you look at your favorite football player, if I look at Cristiano Ronaldo, I look at that person and I'll say, wow, he lives an amazing life, I want to be like him. But we don't see what he went through to get there, a lot of pain he went through to get there, a lot of dedication he went through to get there. And that's just one example, but it can apply to anything in life. Everything comes down to suffering, and suffering is so necessary. Often we think, that's why we think, God, why am I going through this, and so is in this situation? Because God knows your heart's desires. He knows you need to go through a divine path to learn the things that your heart desires. And it's not going to come to you easy. It's going to come to you through revelation, through compression, through hard times. And God needs to mold you, He needs to shape you, He needs to bend you into the person you need to be, and that takes pressure. And see those hard times as times where God is formulating character. He's formulating who you are supposed to be. And that's just the nature of life. Life is not a straightforward line. It is a zigzag. It doesn't work out the way we think. And oftentimes we'll think we're in a unique situation where our suffering is very unique, and we like to victimize ourselves to make ourselves feel justified in the position we are in. But I feel God really calling me to tell people that you're right where you need to be. Trust God, because your resistance is stopping you from Him propelling you forward. He is stretching you back so that you can shoot forward into your future. And if you're resisting Him pushing you back, then you're not going to shoot far into your future. So really believe in God, really trust Him in these moments, and life is supposed to be messy, guys. We can't chase perfection, and I find this every single time in my life where the devil's attacked me. He's tried to make me feel like I'm not perfect, and he'll point out my flaws in certain areas. And often what I find is the area that you are most insecure about, the part that you feel is so messy about yourself, is where your purpose lies. For example, I have a friend who is a really great musician. He plays guitar and he can sing really well, and he's constantly insecure about that because he thinks about it so much, and the devil's put that plot in his mind for him to think that it's impossible for him to make it. It's impossible for him to even try, and his insecurities, performance anxiety will always win. But that is just a sign. Where that mess is in his life is where he needs to aim, where he needs to go, because that's where God's divine anointing is for him in his life. So I hope this message encourages someone today. Follow your anointing. Wherever you feel you're running away from, run to it and ask God to set the path for you. And when you're in that phase where you just feel out of control, give God the control. Ask him to reveal to you what he's doing. Ask him to reveal to you what you need to do next, so you don't stay in the same loop trying to figure out the same lesson. He is trying to grow your character, and be open to change. Be open to growing as a person, and be open to knowing that you may not know everything. Our egos get in the way so much of the time because we live life a certain way, and if things don't go towards that certain mold we've made, then we're not happy. But how can we want change in our lives if we stay in the same mold? What you imagine in your head for your future is very different to where you are now. So how do you think you're going to get there? By being the same person you are now. You need to make those changes. You need to make those constant changes to be a better person and to develop your character. So be open-minded. Think about who you can be and how you can change. And don't think you know everything. And this is something I'm telling to myself as well as I continue to grow as a Christian. But that's my message for today. I pray for everyone out there. Please understand that your suffering is necessary, and when it doesn't make sense, lean on God, because he is the one who knows everything. None of us. No human can help you, no therapist. And yeah, that's the message for today. I hope you guys found this helpful. I love you, and stay safe.